So happy Monday morning. We're getting back on our 98 Chevy that obviously is overfueling. So I got the fuel pressure gauge hooked up. I mean, I can literally smell fuel in the exhaust, and I've got a couple of misfires when it's running, cylinder 5 and cylinder 7. So our pressure's holding good enough. I mean, it's going to back leak through the pump. It's holding pretty darn good for key being off for a few minutes. So I'm going to key it up here. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so there's our. Oh yeah, there it goes. So our fuel pressure. So basically, we're just pouring fuel in the engine through an injector. So I shut the key off, take the power and the ground, potential ground away from the injector, and fuel pressure comes back up because when you turn the key off on these, it cycles the fuel pump again. So. And as you can see, she's a Holden. So what we have going on here is a couple things we'd have going on. We could have a short in an injector, and this is intermittent. Or we have some driver issue on the ground side because we've got 12 volts. When you turn the key on, you'll have 12 volts to the injector. The PCM's controlling the ground on these. So we have a ground. We could have an issue in the harness, but we have something going on in the PCM, or we have a short in the injector. So what I'm going to do is these come apart pretty easy. I'm going to pop that plenum off there, hook the fuel lines back up, and we'll see which ones are actually leaking because we know our fuel's going away. And we'll stick some rags under there so it doesn't pour into the engine. Let the rags soak them up. And after we pluck the injectors out of the lower intake, and we'll do some circuit testing at that point and determine whether we have a PCM or we just have some messed up injectors. So anyway, stay tuned. So we did some more testing on our fuel injection system here. You saw the results earlier. So the way this works is we've got, it's coming through a fuse, key on power, 12 volts to the injectors. And then we have drivers in the PCM that provide a ground. They'll pulse width modulate the ground to turn the injectors on. So we always have 12 volts. So the only place that we can get a ground, since this has the updated injectors in it, they do have a metal body here on the injector. Now you have this sleeve that pops down into the hole in the manifold, but these will touch. And the injector, of course, the top here is plastic, but the body of the injector is metal. So we're looking for a ground. We could have an issue in the wiring harness, where somewhere one of the ground circuits here was actually getting ground, or it could be in the injector. So the way I tested them is you want to test the body here, put one of your leads on the body and the other one on the ground wire in the top of the, injector body, or whatever you want to call that stupid thing, and see if we have a ground. Right now we have, it's cooled down a little bit. We've got 17, I mean, it's mega ohms, but you should have 0. So I heated it up through the heater, the heat gun on there, heated it up, and of course it'll change. And I went through and I checked all of them. The only 2 that I'm having an issue or showing any continuity at all on are number 5, which we're on right now, and number 7. So basically these injectors are, we got a couple of bad injectors there, but we'll be replacing that whole unit